All right, boys and girls, today we're talking about
Huh?
Tiny11, what it really is, who created it, how it works, and whether you should even install it on your PC. So let's get into it. Tiny11 is basically a lightweight, stripped-down version of Windows 11. But here's the important part. It's not made by Microsoft. It was created by a developer known as NTDev, also called NTDev Labs. They're the ones who built the tool that lets you make your own lighter Windows 11 image by removing a ton of bloat and unnecessary apps. The whole point of Tiny11 is to take the official Windows 11 ISO and cut out everything you don't really need, so the OS becomes much faster and can run on older hardware. According to NTDev, Windows has become pretty heavy over the years, filled with apps, services, and features that most people never touch. Tiny11 is their way of proving that Windows can be fast and clean if you remove all the extras. And the cool part is that Tiny11 Builder doesn't use weird third-party tools. It uses official Microsoft tools like DISM and Windows ADK to chop down the image, so you're basically customizing Windows instead of creating something from scratch. When you build Tiny11, the script opens up the Windows image, removes built-in apps and services like Xbox stuff, OneDrive, default media apps, news, weather, Copilot, Outlook, Teams, some telemetry, background services, and other stuff that normally slows down low-end PCs. Once everything unnecessary is deleted, it packs it back into a new Tiny11.iso. The result is Windows 11, but lighter, faster, and way less annoying. Tiny11 can even run decently on 2 to 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is kind of crazy for a modern Windows version. Now let's talk about what exactly gets removed. Things like the Microsoft Store, Xbox services, pre-installed games, Clipchamp, the new Mail app, some AI features like Copilot, background telemetry, extra languages, handwriting tools, tablet PC support, a bunch of multimedia libraries, and basically anything Windows loads in the background that you probably never asked for. All of this is taken out to reduce boot time, reduce RAM usage, and stop Windows from randomly eating your CPU like it's doing a workout in the background. But you do need to know the downsides. Since Tiny11 removes a lot of stuff, you also lose some features. Some people might miss media playback features, some hardware support, or things like OneDrive and Xbox. Windows Update might not always behave normally depending on the build. And because the system is trimmed down, some apps that expect everything to be installed might not work properly. Plus, this isn't official, so you can't ask Microsoft for help if something breaks. And if you install it wrong, you might run into bugs. Installing Tiny11 isn't as easy as downloading it like a normal Windows ISO. What you have to do is download the official Windows 11 ISO yourself, then download the Tiny11 Builder from NTDev's GitHub. After that, you mount the Windows 11 ISO, run the Tiny11 script in PowerShell as administrator, type in the drive letter of the mounted ISO, choose the Windows edition you want, and let it process. After a while, it spits out a new Tiny11.iso that you can write to a USB with Rufus and install like normal Windows. The installation itself feels the same as normal Windows, just cleaner and lighter. Tiny11 is perfect for people with old laptops, office PCs, school computers, low-end setups, or people who just want a clean version of Windows without Microsoft forcing apps on them. If you know what you're doing, it's actually one of the coolest ways to get fast performance on weak hardware. But Tiny11 isn't for everyone. If you rely on the Microsoft Store, built-in apps, or if you want full compatibility, you might not like it. And if you don't know how to fix things when Windows complains, maybe stick to normal Windows. At the end of the day, Tiny11 shows what Windows could be if it wasn't full of unnecessary stuff. It's fast, smooth, and brings life back to old PCs. But it comes with responsibility. Back up your files, install it carefully, and understand that this is a modded build. TinyDev deserves respect for this project because they basically proved that a lightweight modern Windows is possible. So yeah, that's Tiny11 explained in detail. If you want a tutorial version, a more dramatic YouTube voiceover version, or a shorter version for a reel or short, just tell me and I'll cook it.